Hello, hello, hello. I had a bunch of people interested in the water elevator I made in Pal World that I saw from Japanese Twitter. So I figured it'd be a good thing to share, at least how I go about doing it for my little test base over here. You can see it's over by the floating islands, and no flying pal needed to get up here. So I'm going to head down to the bottom. You can see where I traverse up to, and show how I go about doing it. It is good to know that falling is fine, but always want to glide near the end. As you saw from that snap, this is a shared multiplayer server, so this is entirely something you can do with base version of the game. No modified anything needed. So I have for my layout, it is a 4x3 setup. It's important to note that you need to have a single square available. That's what you'll be building around. That will be your elevator. I do like to use stone flooring. This will be the entryway for what we're using. And putting these walls here, I'm just going to show, is a detriment. The thing we will be using is the large fishing pond, which you can unlock at level 69. Comes available. Pond. Large fishing pond. This is a pretty late game structure. It is good for bases, both fishing up pals and items. But you can also swim in it, and that's what allows this interaction to happen. But you can't really build with it while facing the pond area. It only really lets you build when facing the stairs, or generally near the stairs. But for a quick and easy setup, you can extend it outside your base radius quite a bit. Anyway, looking at it from here, it is positioned in a specific way. Just for alignment purposes, you can't really position it well while you have walls. Once you start getting to the area you need it to stop at, it gets obstructed. So you destroy these walls, bring it back up. I do like to have this lined up with the stone because the stone has little lips that you can position or use for positioning, at least for forward and backwards. I will highlight the areas to look for. So we set it up, we get it built. And then this can be covered up. I'm going to use regular wood just to show how it gets covered up. And this will be the setup. Use vertical walls. My pal's going to get stuck in there, and that's okay. Came out. So vertical walls get used, and then on the edge, for here, there will be the stairs. But this is essentially the setup. If you wanted to, you could still assign pals, but that's only if you want this to be the entry to your elevator, since you do need the step up. You don't necessarily need it, but I find that without it, the elevator is sometimes inconsistent. Really, as long as you have these walls, you could always use the triangle walls to do the glitch where you replace it with a square wall. But the important part is you want to enter only this area in your square. So I'm going to move it to the setup. I have two themed elevators. The entire point of this is to have elevators that are aesthetic. This one being white, this one being based on the Japanese. See, when you jump in it, the camera gets weird, but afterwards, you can swim up, touch the wall, and you went vertical. It is worth noting, this is 30 vertical walls up. That is the maximum height you can teleport with the water. I have an additional one that's 20, and then this one will be 10. that we're making. So going all the way down, the same format, 4x3 with walls. As mentioned, these walls will get in the way. And I do like using the stone floor as the close one for alignment. The middle, you could fuss about, but I haven't needed to care too much about the middle being aligned perfectly. It does help letting you run around underneath it, but that's about it. That's aligned. Now it's built. And we will set it up to make it decorative. We don't need that anymore. Or she starts flying around. We will be making this one out of stone. We build this up just because you can't really place drop for making it look pretty. There it is. And part of the alignment is, if we delete this, that goes into the water, and also you will be able to add walls along here. We'll make this one a door, so we can traverse there if needed. I'll only be going too high for the wall pieces. Have it an open doorway. So how this will look at the end, this will be open accessible. Door will still be a thing. And at times, depending on how well you align it, you can add flooring as well. From here. So you can actually fill this entire backing. And again, that involves aligning the walls just right. Now, if you want to, you can have the overlooked glass. Let's just fill out the bottom with stone and then make the upper glass. That's all set. If you want to hide the fish, you can. All it is just add some decorative walls, or even just regular walls. For example, make a door here, a door here, and then roof it off. You could use this if you just want it hidden from the outside perspective, so only you see it. And if you want to build on top of it, one benefit of this elevator and having this 2x2 space is if you wanted to, you could set up your pal beds here. It's a good thing to have. For example, have it set up here. You build it. Once it's built, have the floor cushion. Place the cushion on top. And then you can stack an additional I didn't line it up correctly, but anybody that has seen about building tips knows you can do that. If you don't want this to be a cap off, you can always use pal pods. Just really anything. Any accumulators, any ancient power generators. Pals can work remotely without access to the structure. So it's good to take advantage. If you don't want anything like that, and you want to just have a topper, there's always the ceiling pieces, rooftop pieces. One doesn't want to play nice. There he is. And it looks pretty. No sign of the fish from the outside. Purely from the inside. And again, if you don't want to have this and leave this as an open space, you have the option of fishing. Now, to the upper area. It will be worth noting, I do have this door set up, so you can use this entire area for small things. I have door access if I want to go fishing. I can send my pals fishing, so on and so forth. For the upper area, I will be using wood, mostly just for the convenience of material. Build it up with wood. It has to be a straight vertical shaft. That is the most important. But it is worth noting that the hot spring, or the pond rather, does go underneath the material slightly. So if you'd like to, you can make this little 1 by 1 vertical spacing, at least, overhang, and that will hide it. If you were pointing the steps on the inside of the base, these stairs would actually conceal it. So it's up to you what you want. And just remember, when building the elevator shaft, you do need to have the hole in the shaft for the space. Otherwise, you teleport to the nearest ceiling, and that can eject you from everything. Anyway, this is set up. Now we can go about building the next pond. Same thing. Using stone for alignment purposes. Kind of get used to it where it should be after a while. But the stone for alignment always helps. And if you're focused on a decorative base, here is where you could always do the overhangs. Making use of either the slanted roof or just upside down stairs. Whatever have you, whatever makes you happier from an aesthetic perspective. So, slanted roof, won't go with that. We'll go stairs, will it allow it? So that one is going over the wall, but interesting direction. So that will suffer from decay and break on its own, but that's fine. And here, as you see, you could always make the platform extended for an aesthetics perspective. But back to the wood. Leave that as is. One will be glass on the upper. And then we go about finishing it up to complete it. And I will go back down to beautify it more. For this upper one, we don't really need the wall. Wall's just more to keep it in line with the decor. But if you're not going to wall it off, that's fine. There it is. Alright. That's all complete. Cap it off. Won't roof this one for convenience. You already saw at the bottom. So now this is technically ready. So let's just make it nice. Wall, wall. Stairs to go up to it. Then the corner walls. Fill it in. That one's done and ready. This one, complete same thing. Staircase going up. Corner wall, corner wall. Great. Alright. With that, this is complete. Here on out, it is making it whatever decorative thing you want to do. This base doesn't have items, but you could close this area off, add little patios, add whatever. The whole purpose of this is giving you vertical access in a base, thanks to the limited horizontal access. It doesn't hurt to have. It's just always getting your bearing. If you ever end up on the bottom, flopping around in the water, you could always just pause, let it reorientate itself, look up if there's something up. Now I will show what happens if you do a pond every 30, like I have set up here. I have 150 vertical panels going upwards. So this is where it gets real weird. As you'll see, it is the jittering like before. The only difference is when you touch the wall, as you normally do to climb, it will pull you out of the water and pull you back in to teleport you up again. So this moved me up again. Oh, no, it didn't. It is trying to. It failed to, but you could just jump. Now, as you can see, I'm at a different stage. Same thing, touch the wall. If it gets you into free cam, just jump. And I am out. So I'm all the way back at the top. Back here, back to the skybox. That's it. That is how you go about making water elevators in Palworld. Enjoy your base building.